July.
Happy 4th of July Eve.
Happy 4th of July Eve. Lauren, are you very patriotic with the manner in which you celebrate 4th of July?
I gave my team the day off.
You did? Yeah, that's
Well, I mean, not
that's
that I gave them.
patriotic.
It's a required day, but
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you
I'm
legally
not,
have to do that.
yeah, I was like, I follow the law.
I'm
No,
obedient.
I'm not like going to a barbecue and wearing a red, white, and blue swimsuit at the
Good.
beach. That's not
As you should. And you're going to the
that.
beach. I feel like that's American, going to the beach.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'll consider going to the beach. I've been kind of a hermit lately and been like heads down because it's Black Friday planning. So that's my July. My July is I am trying to prep now so that in November I can have a life.
Oh, okay. So for those of you who don't know who you are, would you share a little bit about what you're doing and why Black Friday is such a mammoth?
Oh my gosh, it's a mammoth in every way capacity because we'll have clients that will do more in that week than they'll do the entire quarter
Jeez.
previously. Yeah,
Wow.
so we run a marketing agency, Mongoose Media. We work with clients as in the services space or e-commerce space and help them grow and scale their businesses. Our goal is that if you start at a six-figure ad spend, we get you a multi-six-figure ad spend in a year and a half. If you're a multi-six-figure ad spend, we're getting you to high multi-six-figure ad spend in a year and a half. If you're high six-figure ad spend, so like 700,000 a month, and ad spend getting you to seven figures in a year and a half. Of course, with all those like ad spend increases means that there's disruption to labor because
Mm-hmm.
then you're obviously doing a lot more in sales to compensate for that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we do a lot of paid media, and Facebook is my forte. But we have 8 media buyers on my team,
Nice.
and they speak other languages besides Facebook. So everything from like Pinterest to Pornhub with lots of meta in between.
And you are the co-host of one of the largest Google Ads paid media podcasts, Perpetual Traffic. How's that been going?
Oh, it's amazing. It's like number 4 in the US right now, 2 in Canada, 1 in Nicaragua. I don't know, it's just
Wow.
kind of surreal. Like,
Nicaragua.
yeah,
That's
I don't know.
good.
That just happened to show up. There's number 1 in Nicaragua, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Good for you. Man, your life has just been exploding. So for those of you who just joined, chatting with Lauren Petrullo, and she's head down right now, prepping her clients for Black Friday.
Mhm.
Specifically on the paid media side for the purpose of continuously. Is it almost like every month are you all doing incremental increases on the ad
Yeah,
spend?
that's fair.
Okay.
Well, and I wouldn't put it on incremental increase of ad spend. So like the too long don't read is July, we have to plan what is our Black Friday sale going to be. If we're doing a gift with purchase, GWP, you need to know what it is and make sure that that order is placed by September so it arrives in time.
Right.
And we'll start doing forecasting for Black Friday with a soft Black Friday sale on Labor Day time period. We'll do a lot more lead generation and take advantage of full funnel marketing capabilities because Q4 should be essentially remarketing, not new customer acquisition. It could be
Yeah.
new customer acquisition from your existing resources, but not
Right.
new customer acquisition paying for cold because you're just paying more money than necessary. So
Yeah.
it's just making sure that you're leveraging the algorithms how they work now. July is the slowest sales month ever. Anyways, that's why
Mm,
Prime Day is in July. It's the only way
right.
to stimulate sales during a summer slump. But it's doing stuff now so that it's not last minute. And a lot of that is at the baseline of determining what is your Black Friday offer,
Right.
who is it going to be available to, what are the assets and resources that you're going to need for it, and then building up your soft launch for Labor Day.
So really, July is prime time for businesses to be planning their e-com plan for Black Friday, and then also kind of almost doing like would you ever have it be a cold run for Labor Day, see that something doesn't work, and
Yeah.
then deviate? Okay.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So we've done that a lot. And it's not just for e-commerce, it's all businesses. Some of the most fun Black Friday promos are SaaS companies, but we don't really do SaaS advertising, software as a service. But all companies almost always have an opportunity to take advantage. of the Black Friday time period. And if there's no sale discount, you can leverage Giving Tuesday. But it's a time of the year when consumers, especially in the United States, are prepped and primed to spend a lot of money. And then you
Yeah.
have to be aware of the seasonality, because Black Friday this year is at the end of November, which means you have a shorter Christmas cycle. So for a lot of e-commerce brands specifically, you have this mad rush till December 15th, December 17th, which is get it in time for
Mm,
Christmas. So it's just like you
good.
go from prime sales, then you go to like last minute shopping so that you can get it in time for Christmas, because otherwise it's late and then you're the bad gift giver who didn't plan in advance. But with a pushed back Black Friday, what's going to be hard is November. You're going to have a sales slow cycle the beginning of November because everyone's going to be waiting for Black Friday, but you can potentially take advantage of early Black Friday shopping without
Mm,
as big of a sale, because if you've got like renewables, or if you're in a service that just like it's time sensitive, you
right.
can get a boost of sales early November, as long as you're showcasing like, hey, we will have a Black Friday sale, but we don't want to punish you to have to wait a full month, because the
Mhm.
consumer is ready to buy November 1st, but Black Friday is like November 28th or 29th.
Wow, that's
It's
so
late.
long. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So from the consumer's perspective, when I see early Black Friday sale, I'm thinking that it's still going to have a bigger discount on Black Friday, so I'm still holding out. How have you helped people to leverage those days leading up to Black Friday to convince
Yeah.
people to purchase?
When Black Friday is as late as it is, one of the most successful things we've seen is that you have a different type of sale every week leading up to Black Friday. You always save your best deal, whether that be like 30% or 40% off for the Black Friday holiday itself, because people are going to wait. But if
Mm-hmm.
you have a different type of sale, so say like week one, you're doing free gift with purchase. Week
Yeah,
two, you're doing a 35% sale on a specific category.
yeah.
Maybe the next one you're doing a bundle. So there's always a unique reason for them to buy, where
Mm,
if they also buy on Black Friday, they're not penalized for shopping early. So you just have to be strategic about it, that it incentivizes them to want to take action early. Because if you encourage them to buy 2 weeks early and you're like, here's 25% off, and then Black Friday, it's like 40% off, you're like, F you. Unless you have true
yeah.
scarcity and you're like, this is until inventory sells out. So
Yes,
if you wanna
right.
wait, you can publish it. So a really good tactic to do, now is, like, to practice some lead generation stuff in July and in August, and then come mid-September to mid-October, you can start doing lead generation to people that want to know what the Black Friday sales are gonna be, because we know you're already thinking about it. You sign up
Mm,
for a Black Friday VIP list, and then you get a specialized
mm-hmm.
segment of ready to be discounted buyers, and then you can suppress them from your email marketing, so you're not selling them on non-sale stuff, because they signal that they want a discount.
Good. I love that. So effectively allowing for right now us to be testing out different lead gen tactics in order for then
Yes.
us to deploy it.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, good.
exactly. Testing landing page versus in-app forms, the LinkedIn forms, TikTok forms, or Meta forms as a way to get individuals. Like, you have to know the value of an email subscriber in your list.
Hmm.
And now you can test in different mechanisms of which brings about the lowest cost at the
Hmm.
greatest quality. So like
Hmm.
in-app has a lot more opportunity to ask more questions, to
Yes.
gatekeep bad quality, but your landing page can offer a lot more information that can lead into a potential book a call funnel, low ticket sales funnel. So that's what
Mhm.
you should be testing this summer.
Good. And for those of you who just joined on with Lauren Petrullo, she's been head down prepping her clients for Black Friday sales. We're going to actually be getting to ClickUp and the project management tool that kind of powers all of this soon.
Oh
But
yeah.
before we do, I just want to ask Lauren a quick question specifically about email lists.
Mhm.
I have found among many of my clients and also in just talking with colleagues, many people are not leveraging their email lists. And some people, like personal, let's say even personal brands, right? A lot of people are
No.
like, I
Okay.
don't have an email list. And like, how many contacts do you have in your Google database? Like, you can start small. So, talking about big brands that have massive emails, and then talking
Yeah.
even about people like you and me who have personal brands who are not leveraging our email list. What are 2 to 3 different tactics you would either a tactic or even a mindset shift for these big brands? Same thing for the entrepreneur.
For the big brands, the mindset shift I would have immediately for big brands is well, we dub it this triage system where it's you let everyone in. What we find big brands are like, we just want to grow our list. And I'm like, no, you
Mm,
don't, because you have stronger deliverability issues. But for bigger brands, the thing that I think that they should shift their mindset around is that just because they signed up doesn't mean they belong in the club. It's like if
mm,
someone showed up to get in line, you still have to check their ID, because if it's 21 and over, you cannot let underage people in without putting yourself at risk. So
right.
the thing that I would do that is with bigger brands, we're aggressive on what I call proof of life, which is
Mm,
when you sign up, no matter where you enter from a footer form or a lead magnet or whatever have you, without being a customer first. So the lead
mhm.
part of getting into our ecosystem, I need to ideally one have a conditional knockout question before you get in. I need to
Okay.
make sure that you are a marketing qualified lead, not a competitor, sale, tire kicker, or whatever. If I can't service you, I don't want to spend money advertising to you, which
Mm,
is on your emails. You're paying for that software. So I'm counting that in your advertising costs. Two, when they did sign up, if you can't get them to reply or click on the early emails of your onboarding sequence, you're going to dilute the data of what's actually converting. So then you're going to be spending more on less, because you're
mm,
getting just all this garbage that's either ending up in spam or ending up not interested in you. Like, it's a
yes.
world of AI and personalization, and the person who's most personalized and relevant will win. And so if you're
Mhm,
talking to everyone as if they're the same, you have to know then they're going to look at you as if you're the same as every other email in their inbox. So I
mm.
would just invite you to think of every time someone gets into your ecosystem, are you making sure you're blocking out the people that you know you can't help?
That's so
And
good.
then I would just take it as you said too. Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. No, well, I really want to just put a pin in that what you said about if you're not taking the time to talk to them and personalize your email to them, they're going to look at you just like everyone else in their inbox. You know, it goes
Yeah.
both ways. It's a reciprocal relationship. So the
Yes.
way that we treat them is how they're going to treat us in return. So just
100%.
so good. Keep going.
I was like, that would be the big part is one, have a conditional knockout question. Cause if you know you can't service them, don't waste their time
Yeah.
by being in their inbox.
Yes.
Two, I would just really, really put pressure on getting that reply or click. So if they ask for a lead
Mhm.
magnet, you have to track and chase whether or not they click to access the asset they asked for. And that will give a huge impact to your overall marketing effort, because the way we at least do it for bigger brands, because you can build those automations, if they don't click or reply within our series of 27 emails, we actually tag you as subscriber only,
Mhm.
disqualify you as a qualified candidate, send that data back into our various advertising networks so
Yes.
that your false positive is changed to a true negative, because you aren't actually a lead. You are a subscriber. And I need to make sure my advertising networks know that. So I'm not optimizing for more of you.
So for those of you who don't know what Lauren's talking about, Lauren, can you break that down a little bit? Because what you just said of in terms of turning effectively learning from our email list, identifying who's not qualified, but then re-teaching the algorithms to not
Yes.
serve ads to these people. So can you just
Yes.
go a little bit deeper into that, and then we'll talk about
Mhm.
ClickUp.
Oh yeah, because ClickUp is the thing that powers everything, and I'm like, I can't run my business without it. But
Yeah.
for your emails, depending on your email service provider, your ESP, assuming that it's also connected to your CRM, what we do then is most people's first onboarding email is one single email. And then you send out, hey, this is our brand, this is our story. And you just have a set of like 4 to 14 emails that introduces people. It's your indoctrination series. If you are a big brand, you should stop doing what everyone else has been doing for 10 plus years, because then it's where everyone else is getting ignored. What I would say is that that first email in that onboarding sequence, we make it actually 27 potential emails that someone can get.
Mm.
I'm not introducing you to my brand. I'm not introducing you or selling you on our product or purpose. If you haven't at least taken that first commitment you asked for, you wanted to read this PDF, I'm sending you this PDF. If you're not going to read the PDF, you're never going to listen to my story. So
Mm.
essentially what we do is we put in, like, we use high level personally. So we have triggers in high level. This works for HubSpot, this works for MailChimp, all sorts of different ESPs, where if they reply or if they click on the intended call to action in our email, then we know they're a qualified lead. We call that proof of life. You have to reply or you have to click. Opens do not count because opens are just a trend line. They are useless beyond that. So if they click on that email, which we can send up to 27 times, or if they reply to that email, we acknowledge them as a qualified lead. If at
Mhm.
the point of our triage, like we send the first email or we resend twice with different subject lines, we go through this whole process. If at the end of the 27 emails, they still haven't clicked or replied, we tag them as subscriber only. And then we have a custom list in our ESP of who are subscriber onlys. Then I'll use Meta for the example. We have that dynamic list constantly populating and updating. We create a 1% lookalike audience, which, lookalike audiences aren't useful anymore in terms of targeting, but we create that 1% lookalike audience and use it as an exclusion. So we're
I
telling Meta,
love
I don't want these individuals. And there's more things you can do to have even more refined updates into your algorithm, but you're just telling Meta, I do not want more of these people, and you're de-attributing them as qualified.
And y'all, that is just as important as saying these are the people I do want. Because what that
I would
does is
argue
it,
more important.
yeah, true. And I think you make a really good point there because us saying we want these people, we want them to the best of our knowledge. But then these people who we know that we know that, right? Like we know
Yeah,
that we don't want these people because they've proven otherwise. So
correct.
I think that that's so important. Okay, ClickUp, project management. You said you told me, so you and I both spoke at Traffic and Conversion in 2024 at the beginning of the year. And you were
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Going podcast and you just made this comment. You said, yeah, I'd rather be without my phone for a week than without ClickUp for a day. And I was like, man, I am not using ClickUp clearly, appropriately. So ever since then, I've been wanting to hear from you.
Mm,
Tell us about ClickUp in terms of just, I think we all know what the tool is. It's a project management tool that helps us stay
yeah.
organized, aligned as a team. But beyond that, why would you choose to be without this for a week than without your ClickUp?
I was like, oh, my phone's all the way over there. But for me, like, so I have a team, and the way that, like, ClickUp is the gas that runs my company.
Mm,
Everything is marked in ClickUp. We say, like, if it's not in ClickUp, it's never going to happen.
mm,
It's the place in which we show accountability. It's the place in which we have proper data storage. So we use, like, there's layers of ClickUp. And I wouldn't even say I'm a ClickUp aficionado. Like, there are people that are way better at this than me. And we have now a full-time project manager. So this is even stronger for her. But what built the 7 years of our company, we've used Asana and Monday. I've used Rike
mhm,
before.
mhm.
But what got me with ClickUp was, one, I was grandfathered into, like, very cheap pricing. Um, but two, like, their automation system. So
Mm,
as an agency, we have an abundance of clients. For a while, we were offering blog writing as a service because we had been using AI 2 years before chat came out. And so we were providing a lot of blog writing services. And so every time we would have a new client for a new blog, the importance of making sure that where is the copy for that blog stored was
right.
time that no one wanted to put into, like, managing all those admin tasks.
Yes.
So with ClickUp and Make, which is our webhook tool,
Okay.
we could have it so every time a task is created here, it will pull the task, create a folder based on the client's name, and then it's populated into the ClickUp bar. I didn't have to do anything other than write the name of the blog and the task. And then I already had the Google Doc created. I had the Google Drive folder mapped to that task so that there was never anyone making multiple versions of the same document. Because
Right.
everyone here knows that that definitely happens. And you're like, I
Yes.
just looked at the wrong one. So ClickUp
And
allow that.
those little things that slow us down, and they just get annoying, and it breaks continuity. There's so many things that this
Yes.
one stone in the pond ripples out to affect.
Yes. And, like, with templates, like, we've just gotten more into, like, docs in the last, like, 3 months because we've learned a lot about Notion, and Notion is amazing, but misses
Yes.
stuff from a project side. But ClickUp now has ClickUp Docs, which just allows us to embed different stuff. And because ClickUp becomes our, like, CRM source of truth, but not for clients, but for tasks.
Mm,
We keep our client notes inside of it, and then we can tag the tasks related to it. We have emails that go out to clients based off of, I'll keep using the blog example, right? So when a
mm,
blog had passed internal QA and we just changed a custom field, which was blog status, like we have the task status, and then we had a custom field called blog status. Based off of that change, we lived in if this, then that environment. So if blog status changed to ready for client review, then with ClickUp, we had a quick little, like takes you 15 seconds or less, connection that would then send an email to the
yeah.
client that says, here's the blog, it's ready for review. And then we could have, based off of timelines, if status hasn't changed in 3 days and is still ready for review, ClickUp would then send an email to the client.
I love
Hey,
that.
gentle nudge, have you had a chance to see this?
I love that. Wow. It's just taking so much of the manual little and isn't that the power of AI?
Oh, well, I mean, it's programmed. So like what AI would then do is if like AI was drafting and customizing that email, like this was just automation programmed. But
Yeah.
if we were to take it a step further with AI, it would have sentiment based off of their reply. So when they have replied, that just goes into the ClickUp task. So we know where it is, and the client success
Mhm.
manager who's
Mhm.
CC'd on all of those emails has just an extra set of receipts. But yeah, this kind of stuff is like even pre AI agentic
Pre-AI.
flow.
Well, and automated intelligence, I mean, so this is a question for you. AI, RPA, this has been around for a very long time. Like AI
Yes.
has only recently gained popularity, but these have been around for a long
Oh
time.
yeah. I think a lot of people confuse AI as well. Because they're
Mm,
like, well, I think for the large majority of the population, they think of AI as generative AI
mhm.
versus the AI that's been around for decades, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
there's algorithmic AI, predictive AI. There's all different
Yeah.
types of AI that's been around, but generative AI, especially with ChatGPT,
Yes.
has allowed us to be at like the stage one where I can use AI like I use a calculator. Calculator helps
Mm,
me with math. AI and ChatGPT, specifically generative AI, helps me with like ideas and brainstorming. But the term AI for me is like the term vehicle. So
mhm.
generative AI is a SUV, but
Yes.
programmatic AI might be a motorcycle. Another one might be a plane or a train. Like there's
Yes.
all these different things, and we use the word AI as we would use the word vehicle,
That's
in
good.
my
I
opinion.
love that. Okay, so going back to ClickUp. So just being
Mm.
able to automate from start to finish the project so that it just is removing the manual need to move this project from here to there, from
Yes.
X to Y. Okay, I
Yes.
love it. What
And there's
else?
things of like chasing. If
Mm,
again, you live in this world of if this then that, then it's like, Christina Aguilera rubbed the genie in a bottle and are like, this is what I wish could happen, right? Love
yeah.
me the right way kind of situation. If you don't know those lyrics, then say whatever. I'm clearly older than you, or have better taste in music. Arguably, not what I'm trying to say. Um, but what you can do is in an if this then that, like you can map out what is your dream. And now ClickUp has AI.
Mhm.
We didn't enable it, where you could tell them what you want and then they can build a workflow. We've tried a few times and it just never actually got as sophisticated as we wanted to. And so we're like, cool, human in the loop, which is the term in which you have to make sure that you have human interaction and like especially in
Okay.
agentic workflows. Every time we had human in the loop, it actually became human interference, and I was like, oh my god, AI, this is just faster for us to do it ourselves
Yes.
for now. But in these if this and that, a frustration I would have is like, oh, if only I didn't have to keep following up with this individual to complete the task. Oh, wait, I don't have to anymore, because then I can say, if due date is tomorrow, I can have an automatic message sent either in Slack, in
Mm,
ClickUp, or via email to be like, we'll say, Christine, it's you. Hey, Christine, don't forget this is due tomorrow.
yes.
Please click on this and type a message confirming that you know you can get it done on time, or tag our project manager immediately to signal if we need to make any adjustments.
Yes.
Remember, this task has X, Y, and Z dependencies on it. So any change to our agreed timeline can have consequences to other members of your pack. So if you could just make sure you can go into the task, review it, and confirm that you'll get it done on time, that'd be great.
That's so good. And all of that is automated because it will pull
All
in.
of it can be automated.
Love
100%. So you can extract the details and build it in this dynamic formula. Again, without AI, it's just pulling the if this, then that. If task is due tomorrow, then
Right.
email person who is assigned the task with this
Right.
message, and then have dynamic variables like, and hey, just in case you didn't know, there are X number of dependencies. Here they are. So please update. Like for us, the biggest thing from the project management, task management side at Mongoose Media was we didn't know the status. So you can have a due date of 6
Yeah.
days out, but due dates aren't start dates. Like that's a big thing for us.
Yeah.
And when the due date is
Isn't that a mic drop moment? Due dates are not start dates. Let's be clear.
They're not.
No.
But a lot of people defer to that because it's culturally a thing too. I grew up in the United States. I knew the only motivator for me to do homework for undergrad in my MBA was the 11:59 p.m. submission. Like I remember living in LA and I went to see Sun, and my husband would be like, "It's 10:40 p.m. Did you start your paper yet?" I'm like, "No, but I'll start it now." And I'd rush to that 11:59 p.m. So I admit I was trying to solve for Maura Lawrence, right? So due dates are not start dates.
Right.
And that simple email, that simple nudge of making sure someone's aware of it made a huge difference.
Right. And it's, there's something where, I'm always curious to see what and how people will almost like unveil themselves in terms of what their habits are. And so I try to do that in the hiring process. And at the same time, it's just like, let's serve them through the reminder. If it takes us no time, you know what I mean? Like, we might as well just serve and just help be way over communicating, way over reminding too, because I love what you said. Remember that this has ramifications on your pack. It's reminding them you're a part of a larger whole. And if you fail at this, many other people are going to be negatively impacted.
Yeah.
So
Eric was
I love
yes.
that. Yeah, Eric.
Due dates are not start dates. I know you wish you didn't have to hold people's hands and send those reminders. I know it's like, oh, I wish I didn't have to. Due dates are not due dates. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, I love that.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
They're not. It's like
I
Eric, love this so much.
Have those little pithy sayings. I'm like, yep, you guys have been on stage. Because it makes sense. Yep.
So I know we wish we didn't have to send those, but it does make a big difference. And I'll just say that like the iteration that we then did, because now we have a project manager, our goal is that every time a task is assigned, because the project manager is working at workload capacities, right? So with ClickUp, we can see how many tasks, what's the estimate time we can put to the task. So when we'll say like, okay, Eric, because now I'm making you in charge of writing some blogs for us, right? So we assign something to Eric and we say like, okay, the estimate for you to write this blog is 8 hours. And so based off of all the tasks assigned to you, we think we can get it done by next Tuesday. You then are expected within 24 hours to thumbs up and confirm like, got it, I understand the task and can complete it on time. So now we're adding in that level of accountability where our project manager can oversee it and make sure that we have agreements with the team, but also pushback. Because if Eric is like, hold on, I took a 4-day weekend, I got approval for tomorrow and Monday off. No way will this be done on Tuesday. So it can be pushed back and empower the individual to make sure that we're all communicating better. Because at the end of the day, ClickUp works when we communicate. So while we don't want to have to send people reminders and all that stuff, it's worse if we're not even communicating at all.
Right. Okay. So to that point, with ClickUp, you've got ClickUp on your phone, I'm assuming, as an app that's very engaged with you, sending notifications. Do you get notified for everything? Like, how do you have your notifications set up?
I tell everyone when they start with us, like on their first 3 days. So in our onboarding process at Mongoose Media, we have 3 days of like Mongoose training and then 27 days of role specific training. So in the 3 days of Mongoose training, what are the software that we use? Who are the people on the team? Like who are our clients and what do we do? And in that, it's like, okay, you've now had your 2 hour onboarding with ClickUp. Turn off your notifications. Only have the notifications that you need, because otherwise it's like email hell. And then selfishly, like sometimes people be like, I'm overwhelmed with ClickUp. I'm like, do you want to switch? As the owner, I am technically attached to everyone. I was like, we can play this game. I'm very happy to play this game. So if you want to switch, you better be prepared to justify why you think yours is overwhelmed. But what's I know it's like I'm like bullying them almost. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. But like what I think about is with the ClickUp side, you have uh, notifications that are relevant, and then they have a filter for like stuff that's not relevant. So I do get notifications that will say like, oh, Danny changed the status from revisions required to send to publish. I don't care about any of those. The only ones I personally want to look at are when people tag me
Right.
or when I'm assigned to a task. But then within ClickUp's ecosystem, we build dashboards that can help it. So like we live in a, when you sign out, you're supposed to zero out your ClickUp notifications. And then we have our dashboards that show comments assigned to you, tasks assigned to you, and then you can see those most important pieces, because when it's assigned to you, whether it's via task or a comment, someone's waiting on you. So between the dashboards and the notifications, the only ones I care about are when I'm tagged or when I'm assigned.
Okay. Lauren, for people who are wanting to either elevate their ClickUp game, so I want to talk about the people who already have a ClickUp, like my team, and we're not utilizing it.
Did you use my affiliate code? We'll start there. Did you use my affiliate code? I'm sure you did.
Well,
Okay.
I had already started. We had already gotten ClickUp, but let's drop your affiliate code in the chat because I'm very grateful for this conversation, and I'm sure others will be too. I actually was thinking that I want to send this conversation to my newsletter, because there's just this whole topic of project management. It is overwhelming. And it is something that everyone knows that they need, and rarely do we actually take the time to put the systems in place to allow for us to really serve our team well. And y'all, there's something when I was in Paris, I just had this, or no, I was in Italy. I just had this revelation. I was like, okay, I can want to go be coached on everything, right? Like I can go and get an executive coach to tell me things. But the more I can go and actually be boots on the ground, I have an app that I want developed, and I'm actually going to go on Lovable and learn some of the back-end coding. I'm just going to do the work, right? Because then I can.
You're gonna do vibe coding.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's not me actually learning how to code per se, but it's going in and playing with the AI tools so that I can then help my team, inform my team on exactly what I want. But I've done the work. I've sat in the driver's seat and clunked around. And guys, there's just something really important about us doing the clunking. And so if we expect our team to go in and use a tool like Lauren's saying, we need to go in and actually learn it ourselves. So give us the affiliate code.
The re-affiliate code. That's funny.
I love Eric today. You're just like killing it. So I want the affiliate code. I'm going to include that in my newsletter. And I just want to drop the link to this video. But for all intents and purposes, for people who are like me that have ClickUp, that have never really done the work to build it out, automate it, etc. What would you advise us? And then also for people who have maybe another tool that they know isn't working, getting started. So optimizing what we have on ClickUp and then getting started with ClickUp.
So optimizing in terms of like, the reality is like, you're not gonna be able to shy away from it. Like there's 3 stages. So the CMO of Microsoft published a really good article. It's what I'm posting on LinkedIn and scheduled for tomorrow, but he talks about 3 stages of AI, and I'm going to explain why that is relevant here. Stage 1 is you're using it to help you personally, which a lot of people are doing with ChatGPT. Stage 2 is you're using it to help your business and your teams, right? So you're all connected to the same AI use case. And maybe you've got some agents, but stage 3, which is coming in the next year and a half, is going to be where agentic workflows are managed by a person. So we're using it. Stage 1 is we're using it for personal. Stage 2, we're using it for teams and all connected. But stage 3 is agentic workflows managed by a person, which means that in the next 3 years, process creation is going to be one of the most important skills in the workforce, because you're going to have to delegate processes and creating structure. So it's really good what you're talking about, Christine, and how you're doing. So if you're using ClickUp now, you're just going to get ahead of what is the inevitable demand on what will make you a great person
Yes.
in this continued AI revolution. Otherwise, it's like this like friction plane. But what I would say is how I would start to optimize it is, one, I use Layla of Process Driven. She's a YouTube channel that I follow and get a lot of inspiration from. There's no affiliate or anything like that, but I love her content.
Layla.
And it's process driven, LAYLA. Two, I think like you have to take it to paper, like get in the ground. I don't care if you're using Post-its, a whiteboard, a marker on a window. It's just imagine this, if this, then what do you want? And the clearer you can be on what do you want, once you map that out, you're like, if I could just have this, then you can honestly just go to Upwork and find an individual who can craft that for you and ClickUp. Or you can jump on the next slide with like me and Christina. I could be like, well, here's how I would envision it. And you just tinker. But you want to make sure you define it first of what you want that process to happen. And then like you're going to go with Lovable, dive in, get hands in and just play around. That's how I did it with ClickUp.
Yes.
But if you don't want to play around, you can go on Upwork and have someone do it for you for like $15.
And maybe you do both. I think that's something too. It's perhaps it is actually we go in and we play, but then we also have the expert come in and set it up so that it's set up the right way to best serve our team. And I just found
I personally like doing it.
Yeah.
You like doing it yourself because then you know the limitations and like you can really geek out of what's possible. But yeah, having that expert come in and then you can guide it, then you can have them as a collaborative partner and have like push up of what's possible. The reality is you're not going to be inventing anything.
Yeah, it's true. And you know what? That actually takes a lot of freedom. That takes the pressure off. I don't have to come in, create something brand new, something exquisite. You know, I actually can just come in and set up the systems that I know will work because other people have done this. And it almost takes the ego out of it. You know, in one sense, our ego is silenced when we're just following the systems and processes of other people. And we know it's going to work because it's tried and proven, and we don't have to have it be original for our team. So I really like that. Yeah. So, Lauren, this is so helpful. Layla Pomper, that's the name of the person. That's who I found. That's correct. Yes.
I'll double check. Okay. I was like, I didn't know that was her last name. Let me just copy and paste. Sorry, my computer's like all the way over there. I'm reaching. No. Let's says YouTube. I'm gonna go to it's Layla Process Driven.
Yep, that's what I got. Okay, guys. So I put down Lauren's affiliate link in the chat, and I also put in the training that she recommends. I'm gonna go do it, and let's all go. Let's all go to town and make our systems and processes, and ultimately our teams. And it's for our clients. You know, it serves our people, serves our clients. So it really is good leadership. It's leading with love at the end of the day to ensure that our team is going to be set up for success. So, Lauren, thank you. I'm so grateful for your time.
I like that Erica, I'll leave it on that was like, when I was just at Taco Bell, I mean Walmart, while you're like, Madrid and Paris and Italy and all these exotic places.
Oh my gosh. That was so funny. I did see that comment in there, Eric. I really was. I just had a flashback. Sometimes it helps me paint the picture, but then I'm like, there was no picture to paint. So it really didn't matter where I was. Y'all, thank you so much for joining today's live. Lauren, thank you for joining me. You're brilliant as always. Appreciate you.